Okay, so it took a little longer to get done, but we're finally here doing the comments section. And we're just going to read off the comments of what we got. Most of them are basically crossovers and the HD remakes. A couple of comments, I can't remember who said them, but I'll just mention them offhand. So, for the first one, we have TheGamer Girl2330 who wanted a Melee remake. And I'll be honest about that. In the same way that we don't see two Smash Brothers, and we don't see more than one Mario Kart for each Nintendo console, because those are the multiplayer games, that's how they're focused. With other games like Mario and Zelda, like they're single player, they're story driven or gameplay driven, but here it's the multiplayer mode and we really don't see more than one of those. What do you guys think?
Now, to me, a Melee remake seems kind of pointless. People are just sort of sour by the way Brawl turned out. I'm not one of them, but a lot of people are because it was like slower pace and all that crap. And I understand it's not as competitive, I guess, but I don't think it's worth remaking the older Smash Brothers games.
Especially when we've got the new one on the way.
Exactly. It's like, you don't even know how the new one's going to play. For all we know, it actually might be better than Melee. Did I just say that?
I enjoyed Brawl more than Melee, personally, because I'm not really competitive, so.
I loved all the Smash Brothers games.
Well, I think we all did too.
Smash Brothers, that'd be a different story.
Yeah. I think we all enjoy them too, but I do like Brawl. I do admit there's a lot of faults with Brawl, but I do like it more. There's more characters I enjoy playing as. But in all honesty, I don't really think Melee needs a remake. The same way Brawl doesn't need a remake, and the 64 version doesn't need a remake. Those are the ones that need new games.
Yeah.
I would like to see if they went back to old 64 roots a bit and made it more comical. Like all the sound effects were just like popping and whatever. A lot more comical than it was now. Yeah.
Kind of the lighthearted approach.
Yeah. Metal Mario's footsteps.
That's
was
true.
Terrifying as when I was a kid.
Really?
Alright, well, we've got... Next up, we have Ultimate Nick 37, who was commenting about what we thought about with the Wii U and how it was faring so far. He said, I'm paraphrasing a lot of these, and his was saying, Nintendo is behind on the console. When the PS4 and 720 will be out, they'll be as powerful as gaming PCs. Wii U is only as powerful as the PS3 and 360. Wii U is next gen, but it's weak. In terms of graphics, well, we still haven't seen what the next ones are going to look like.
Right.
There's still that speculation, but at the same time, I think what we commented on earlier in the previous video was that because they're not as powerful, they might be less expensive, more cheaper, and easier for game developers to design for.
Right.
So that might just pay off to their benefit.
Well, I'm not much of a spec person myself. I just want to see how the games turn out, and if we get more games that end up looking like Microsoft's X, I could give a single crap about the specs.
Yeah.
As long as the game looked good enough to where I don't even notice them, it doesn't even matter to me. And once Nintendo EAD is making if Nintendo EAD is making Mario and a Mario Kart, you know they're going to look good.
Yeah, because they always do.
I wouldn't doubt if the Wii U is indeed going to be weaker. I don't care.
It's it's really all about the software. That's what sells the system.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that'll be interesting is, like the PS3 and 360 were very close together for a while, where it was just hard to pick between the two because they worked on third parties, both of them, and they had the same exact games. But now it seems like each console is going to have a gimmick.
Yeah,
I've heard rumors about I've heard rumors. It's just a rumor about the PS4 controller possibly having some sort of touchscreen.
Yeah, but they could use the PS Vita for that anyways.
Yeah, but it'll be like a built-in screen, sort of like the Wii U is. Some sort of more fancy stuff with the Move. The Xbox might have this new Illuma Room thing that they showed up at CES that has graphics appearing all around your room.
And of course,
another attempt at immersion.
And
I just don't see the appeal in that.
But at least each console is going to be different.
True. That's something I'm looking forward to.
Whether that's for the better or for the worse, we'll just have to see.
Right. And there was also another comment, I can't remember who said this, but they were trying to say that we were completely biased to Nintendo about how we said what would Nintendo have to do in order to stay ahead in the console race. just to clarify that comment, that question can be directed to PlayStation 4 and Xbox 720. But this was neither the time nor the place to discuss what Sony and Microsoft could do, especially since we were talking about the Wii U and the Nintendo Direct Conference. I mean, I have my preference for Nintendo, do not get me wrong, but I'm not... It's not like I want the other two consoles to die. I don't want that at all. But...
Well, see, that's another topic in general. They'll just... A lot of people nowadays just throw the word bias around willy-nilly when everybody has a bias. That's the whole reason of, like...
Bias, it's unavoidable. Everyone has what they like.
Exactly.
If you prefer something, it's a bias. And, yeah, I would assume all of us have a preference towards Nintendo. But
most of us watching it, watching the video.
Yeah, I grew up with Nintendo.
Yeah.
I also grew up with Sony.
Right.
I'm always interested in seeing what comes out. I don't necessarily know if I'll buy a 720 or a PS4 at launch. It depends on what they show. The only thing is we know what the Wii U has. It doesn't have to catch up because we know launches are stale, and Nintendo has the franchises because that's how they work. When it comes to the PS4, Sony doesn't like to reuse the franchises, so their stuff is going to be more in question because they're going to give us new stuff that we can't even speculate on.
I can give them respect for that because, I mean, they're always trying to come up with some new games and new stuff. Yeah. Though usually, technology-wise, I always kind of question if they're trying to copy Nintendo. I can pick it off.
The move seemed the move looked like a Wii Remote ripoff.
Yeah, and some people are still defending that by saying it has a different enough style to make it different. I'm like, really?
I'm not seeing it.
But I think we're getting into dangerous flame war territory there.
Yeah. Flame shield up.
That's why I'm silent.
I don't blame you. But yeah, just restating that fact, it's not the fact that we are biased. And in fact, I'll be honest.
We are biased. That's the whole point.
Well, yeah.
It's just not as extreme.
Isn't everyone though?
I'll say this though. Exactly. I was about to say, like, everyone is biased. You want me to prove it? You have two choices. Pick one. Whatever you pick, you're biased towards it. It's not about being biased. It's about being open-minded and being fair.
Which I would assume we all are.
I would hope so. At least everybody watching the video.
Yeah. Because I'm mega excited for E3 all around this year.
Doesn't matter who's going to be there. I'm looking forward to this thing. I can't wait to see what Nintendo has. And I'm interested in seeing what Sony and Microsoft are going to bring to the table. Competition's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they might get me to buy one of the systems. Though, I'll be honest, the one I probably won't get is the Microsoft one. Just because of what they've done to Rare. And I blame them now. But that's another topic entirely.
Yeah, that's another story for another day.
Alright, sorry about that long-winded explanation and topic on hand. We're moving on. Up next we have Brawlmaster012. Oh, dude, you're probably going to love this one. He wants an HD remake for Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door with touchscreen for inventory layouts.
Wow.
Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is already perfection. I don't need it again.
I don't think it needs an HD remake. I really don't. It was just that good.
As much as I love it, I really don't need it either. I mean, if they made it, fantastic. I mean, I don't think Wind Waker needs a remake either, but they're doing it anyway.
Well, they're doing it just to hold us over, which is something I appreciate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, they announced it, it's like, they're saying it's going to be like 3-4 years, I don't know, they haven't really said, but we kind of get that feeling. But in the meantime, here's a remake of Wind Waker in HD, and it's like, okay, I'll sit down and be a good boy.
Yeah.
It's like an appetizer for the main course in about a few years.
Yeah, and that's what I don't have any problems with. It's like when you're going to remake a game, you use it as filler. You use it as a way to buy time, and that's what I'm okay with. If you just make a new console and remake all your old games with no new games, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, I can't see Thousand Year Door benefiting from it in general. Zelda's a given just for easy access inventory. And there was nothing that we know was missing, unlike Wind Waker, where there was a missing dungeon and you could have fixed some bits. Like Paper Mario, like Thousand Year Door, there wasn't much you could really do.
No, but I can see some like touchscreen controls for the battle system. That'd be kind of interesting.
I guess it
probably seems like the only thing that could possibly be improved with the WiiU, and not much else I can think of.
I feel like Mario and Luigi would benefit more just because it's more gimmick-based.
Ah, okay. That actually would work.
Yeah.
All right,
More Luigi Switch consoles.
All right, up. Let's see. Our next comment we have. Oh, jeez. The Destroyer229. Well, like I said, most of these are going to be on the remakes, and this one, a lot of other people really like this one, but he was the first one to say it, I think. A retelling of Pokemon Colosseum or XD, but up to Generation 6 with all the features like triple and rotation battles. Well, it depends on if they actually... Like, Generation 5 didn't get that console release, but I could see them making like a sequel for the
Yeah, I'd like to see a
Colosseum.
continuation of the Shadow Pokemon saga, rather than a remake,
Yeah,
personally.
that works for me.
I got nothing. I have not played any of those. The only console game I played was Stadium 1 and 2. And Channel, but...
Channel?
And Channel, but
We don't talk about Channel.
We don't talk about Channel.
First rule of Pokemon Channel. You don't talk about Pokemon Channel.
Yeah.
Alright,
The second rule of Pokemon... Oh yeah, moving on.
Yeah. WinMage, PSP, let's see. As for new stuff in Wind Waker HD, probably some of the basic stuff like new secret islands that include boss rush modes, new minigames, maybe a couple dungeons just for the extra challenge, stuff like that. I am honestly iffy about GameCube remakes. It's cool that we're getting one of Wind Waker, but I honestly feel that they should focus more on new games, especially if the Wii U does eventually get Virtual Console GameCube games. Okay, I think that was the comment I mentioned earlier and I couldn't find, but...
A lot of people like to really think ahead of the game. I see this a lot where it's always like, why is Nintendo making this when they could be spending their resources doing this? And I never understood that.
They're making both.
People wanted a Wind Waker remake, and that's like why they're doing it.
Yeah, and then there's the whole thing about they wanted the remake for Majora's Mask on the 3DS, and and it's either going to be what, the sequel to Link to the Past for the 3DS
Something
as well.
like that.
Yeah, it's like it's understandable if the fans want it, and if you do it for the fans, then that's respectful.
Not to say their remake clause is always perfect, because yet again we did get 3D Classics Urban Champion, but
3D Classics.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be many GameCube remakes too. Like
There probably won't be, but if we do get them, they're probably going to be the Zelda, Mario, and Metroid. That's just the way I see it.
But I would just think, what could benefit, and I can't see any of those games benefiting.
Yeah, we're better off putting on. Like PSP said, we're probably better off putting them on virtual. They're probably better off putting them on Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have OmegaSnake 18. He wants to cover all three topics. Or actually, I think he's doing 3 crossovers here. He wants to see a Kirby and Yoshi game, a Knights and Kid Icarus game, and Knights being the Knights into Dreams character.
Yeah.
And he wants an Okami and Zelda game. Oh, he just wants some sword motion controls for the Wind Waker HD remake, and a couple of other HD remakes like Luigi's Mansion and Star Fox Adventure / Assault.
We're getting Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 3DS.
Yeah, I think
I
that
really don't see the need for a Luigi's Mansion remake.
Yeah.
It does seem a bit, what's the word I'm looking for?
Redundant, maybe?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's a bit
nor do I really see them doing sword controls in Wind Waker.
Yeah, because it wasn't really catered to that.
If they do, it'll be like Twilight Princess, and I'm pretty sure no one wants that again. I mean, I was fine with it the first time, but not a second time with the game that was already fine without it. So I don't know.
I'm not sure what to think about for Star Fox Assault. Maybe if you make a ton of levels, extra levels for it, and add an online multiplayer and maybe co-op mode. But then again, it might just be easier just to make a brand new Star Fox game.
Yeah, that's just.
I would love that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, might as well just do that instead. Which I'm still pretty sure is what Retro is gonna be working on.
I really hope that is true.
Yeah, or I'll be really, really, really sad!
Yep. Alright, we've got RAZRStudios up next. Just basically one or a few little things about the Wind Waker HD remake. The sail should be mapped to the B button since the sail is never used on land. It should just be a context item and would allow 2 items to be used at once on the boat if they could get that to work. Cruising should feel a little more faster as well. So yeah, I do see how that can work. Just having the B button be the sail. Like,
that would work very well.
That way you don't have to keep switching in your inventory, though. We're probably going to get the inventory on the touchscreen anyway, but this would save some extra time and makes more sense.
Yeah, that would definitely help matters.
I wouldn't really be surprised much about that now. I wonder if I've seen people be like, maybe it would be really cool if they implemented Phantom Hourglass's travel.
Yeah, there was another comment about that.
And just draw on the touchscreen.
Yeah, there was another comment about that later on, but I didn't put it in his comment. Like I said, I'm paraphrasing a lot of these. Or am I just copy and pasting?
Of course, there were some people who complained about that style of travel, the Phantom Hourglass style.
I didn't mind it so much.
I didn't really mind it that much either.
It was the Ocean King tempo that was the problem. But yeah.
Well, the thing is, Wind Waker is going to improve on such little that it's going to disappoint people because they didn't say how much they were going to remake, and now everyone's like, they're going to remake so much. And it's like, they're probably going to fix one thing, and then.
Yeah. Sometimes I swear, sometimes people set their expectations too high.
Yeah, especially when they haven't even hyped it up. Like there was no reason for. Like right now, it's just nothing but speculation on what they can do for Wind Waker. They haven't really told us or done anything or given us any real promises. They're just saying like it's an HD remake with a few new features.
Exactly. Hype level by Nintendo, low. Hype level by fans, off the charts.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up we have VideoGamer858. The Mario/Sonic game. Sonic running through Mario's world in 3D like Unleashed. Mario can attack Eggman's pod with a jump. He also wants a Double Dash and Beautiful Joe HD remake.
Yeah, more remakes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem.
These remakes aren't going to happen, people.
Well, the real problem is they're not going to make a Beautiful Joe 3. So,
I mean, really,
if you're not going to make a next installment, a remake's the best you're going to get.
I can see them remaking that and just packing 1 and 2 together.
No, I would buy that.
Beautiful Joe 1 and 2 plus or something.
I would definitely go for it. But Double Dash?
I'd buy that. I would.
Double Dash, going back to the whole Melee thing, it's more focused on the multiplayer aspect. As much as I love Double Dash, I have that as my favorite Mario Kart game, but I just don't feel like they should remake it, especially if we know the next Mario Kart is coming.
Right.
I would love to see some of the features come back, like the dual characters with their specific weapons, but yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, I thought that I've had that sort of as like a little pipe dream for a while. We had a Mario Kart game where not only you had the option to do 1 person per kart or 2. As far as benefits, I wouldn't know, but like if you just had the option, some players would have 1 person per kart and some would have 2.
Maybe like one person's better at steering and one person's better at aiming.
It's just like a co-op mode.
Yeah.
But you have the option to play as one character or 2.
Alright, next up we have Angelo Mattiozzi. Why can't I pronounce things anymore? I suck at pronouncing things. I pronounce things in a different language better than I pronounce English. Mattiozzi, that's how I'm going to say it. I'm sorry if I butchered that. This person says, I was surprised that no one has said this, but Kid Icarus cross Star Fox and original Metroid-like gameplay cross Mega Man. Well,
original Metroid gameplay cross Mega Man?
Yeah.
Wasn't ZX sort of like that?
Yeah.
Well, I think they just want the characters to interact, but for me, the less Samus talks, the better.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to talk. Mega Man. Okay, I was going to say Mega Man doesn't talk. I forgot.
Yeah. He talks, but not much.
Mega Man talked in Mega Man 8.
I forgot. I don't want to talk about it.
I think we just want to forget. But the Kid Icarus / Star Fox, that's an interesting one. The gameplays are similar in style. You have the on-rail shooter, and if Star Fox had better on-foot missions, then yeah, I could see that working.
Yeah, well, crossovers are a big all-time high when it comes to discussion, but I can't see Nintendo doing first party with first party.
Yeah, that really wouldn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, they're gonna endeavor to do third parties because that's gonna be the most shocking and get the most interest. Because like Shin Megami Tensei really is pretty niche, and even that announcement was like, oh my god, what are they doing? So
Yeah,
like do something like internally.
Yeah, it's probably gonna end up like something like moving your demons along the grid.
I just hope whatever they're doing, it's gonna work. I honestly have no idea how that's gonna look. I don't think anybody else does either. Okay, we have Golossus. I think I said that right. Golossus117. More crossovers. This person also wants a Metroid Mega Man. He also wants something with Rayman, like maybe with Mario. Wants a Xenoblade in HD remake, but we're getting the new one anyway, so...
Yeah.
I'm looking...
Xenoblade looked awesome as it is.
I can see some minor texture details, but that's so nitpicky, I don't even care. It's like it really was pushing the Wii to its maximum potential. Not in terms of like how amazing, how detailed, or no, like just texture-wise. But like everything else, it pushed it to its limits. And for a game that lasts 80 hours, what can you really expect, especially on the Wii?
And that's without the side quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me 70 hours to beat that game, and I loved it. Some parts drove me insane, but I loved it. But let's see. This person wants a Metroid Prime 4, a fourth Rhythm Heaven game.
Yes.
Rhythm Heaven would definitely work on the Wii U.
Yes. Have you played Rhythm Heaven?
I still haven't.
It's amazing.
It's one of the trippiest games you'll ever play.
He's not done yet, or this person's not done. Sonic Generations for Wii U, which almost seems kind of pointless, unless they're going to add a bunch of new levels.
Yeah, it's too far gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides, isn't Sonic Team working on a new Sonic game anyway?
They are.
That we're supposed to see at some point this month, I think.
Ooh, maybe GDC. Maybe no. I don't know. It's too hard to tell. Oh, I don't know. Actually, didn't they announce Shadow the Hedgehog at 2005's GDC? So this might happen. I don't know. Was it CES or no? I think it was GDC, the Game Developers Conference. So, there's hope. Just don't get your hopes up too high.
Yeah.
And the last thing he wants is a Pokemon fighting game like Super Smash Brothers.
Don't we have Super Smash Brothers for that?
But the person does say where you can use any Pokemon, which I think sounds cool, but also almost impossible. You would have
600 individual movesets.
Yeah, well.
And there's going to be even more with Gen 6.
Yeah, I understand the want for that, but realization that it probably never will happen is sad. I myself have always wanted to see what a action RPG Pokemon game would look like and how that would play, but turn-based.
I could see that, and then it'll be sprite-based and probably portable.
I still would love to see how that would look, just like action-wise, like Xenoblade or Tales of Symphonia-wise.
Ah, yes, Tales of Symphonia.
Which many people have also been requesting a Tales of Symphonia HD remake, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of third-party HD remakes, so...
We're more likely to see an all-new Tales game on the Wii U than we would for a Tales of Symphonia HD remake.
Yeah, and they want an HD remake. Remaking that game in HD, yeah, you're much better off just starting from the ground up and working on a brand new one, like you said.
Talking about Tales?
Yeah.
Well, they're remaking a Tales game now.
Which one?
Japan. Tales of Hearts. They're remaking for the Vita.
Yeah, but that's like but it's the portable, so.
Well, yeah, but still.
It's possible, but
they occasionally remake them.
Yeah, it's possible, but probably not likely. All right, our next one comes from fictionfano. He wants, for crossovers, he's thinking maybe the Kid Icarus Metroid. After all, the Komoda enemies in Kid Icarus pretty much are Metroids.
This game universe and that game universe have nothing to do with each other.
Yep. but doesn't mean that you can't see them together.
Yeah.
Let's see. If not, maybe Star Fox would be the alternative, as the other person said, and pretty much saying the same thing that I did, that they both have rail shooting and ground missions. But I think we pretty much had our opinions on that, and I'm going to be honest. I got around to going over these comments pretty late. I was working on other projects. Sorry, guys.
All the care and love you put into your videos.
Hey.
I try, but you're bound to see some of these repeat, and I kind of forget. But my apologies. Moving on, we have arandraco. This person actually just brought up an issue, and I wanted to bring it up too. He says, my Wii U freezes sometimes, and sometimes the sound stops working when I am playing Assassin's Creed 3.
What? The audio got choppy there.
No. I raised my hand at that same problem. I'm not playing Assassin's Creed 3 right now. I have it, but I'm not playing it. But my Wii U does freeze. And it seems to freeze almost twice a week, or maybe like it's either twice a week or once every 2 weeks, but it does freeze, and it
Mine hasn't frozen since that one system update.
Mine is only frozen for Sonic and All-Stars Racing, but that was... I'm pretty sure that was game-related. Because they had to release a patch for that game, and after that it hasn't frozen once. Yeah. So, I played through, going through Mario, Zombie U, the rest of Sonic Racing, and a ton of Nintendo Land I played, it never froze. So...
Yeah,
I have no input.
But I'm just saying, I agree, my Wii U does freeze, and I actually did make a comment about that on Ninja Gaiden 3, and even last week it froze on me when I was trying to get the whole system started, so... I'm hoping that Nintendo will fix that and that nobody else has any problems. Moving on, we have MegaWTFCamer. Let's see, if you're gonna make an HD remake, it would be a good idea to bring back not so well known titles, like, for example, Baten Kaido's Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean.
Third-party HD remake?
Yeah.
I think we went over this.
Kaidos isn't third-party, that's Monolith.
Well, it was third-party at the time, and it was published by Namco.
So does Namco own the rights to Baten Kaidos?
That I have no idea.
That I do not know.
It depends on who owns it. Otherwise, if Monolith owns it, then it's first party.
If it's Nintendo.
And if it's Namco, then Namco owns it. Let's see. And he also wants a Metroid Kid Icarus crossover as well.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Now here's an interesting one. Webby Neon 89. He didn't come up with any good crossover ideas, but one thing that he would like to see is them bringing the cancel games and revamping them for the Virtual Console and such, like Star Fox 2.
Oh man, you cannot believe how disappointed I was when that game got canceled.
And the problem is, it's a finished game.
They had no excuse. I mean, the only reason they canceled it was because it was so close to the launch of the N64, and they were going to release stuff.
So it doesn't make any sense why you would still hold it back. Even if it's not within the same chronological time period, or it's still it happened before the reboot. People still want to play it. So, Nintendo, you have a game that people want to play, and you're not giving it to us for an unknown reason. Why not put it out there?
I mean, seriously.
There's not really a whole lot of other canceled games in Nintendo's repertoire.
Well, there were some of the
Star Fox
Kirby
2,
games.
And then what, like Kirby's Tilt and Tumble 2, it could be possible, or...
Yeah.
What about the Kirby game that was going to be on the GameCube?
That's what Return to Dreamland turned into.
Yeah, but...
actually, I've heard rumors that actually didn't, and that confuses me, but...
The Iwata asks for it, straight up says that after like 3 different sub-games, it turned into Return to Dreamland.
Oh, okay.
That is the case.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. I was lost there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's definitely that game.
Alright, let's see. Next up is... Oh boy. Video Tanooki, who wants an HD remake for Kirby Air Ride and Donkey Kong 64. I don't know if it's a good idea to remake N64 games in HD. I mean, they did a good job with Ocarina of Time and Star Fox, but...
Those were 3D and not HD?
Well, they weren't HD. Sorry, but it seems like quite the big task to take Donkey Kong 64 and make it, polish it up and make it HD. And then,
I think if any games in the repertoire deserve a HD remake, it would be N64 games. Because like GameCube's at a point where it's not totally different unless they change the graphical style like they're doing with Wind Waker.
Right.
But like Banjo-Kazooie was given an HD upgrade for 360.
It still looked very much the same, but yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm saying I feel like those games could benefit more with modern.
Well, I guess it depends. If they did remake Donkey Kong 64, not saying they are, I'm just saying if, then it would have to be like a downloadable game instead of being a retail game. Like that's what they did for Banjo-Kazooie, so.
And the sequel, by the way.
Yeah, and Tooie.
No, that's fine. It wouldn't be like that's what Sony does a hell of a lot of. And there's a lot of Microsoft too. There's a lot of download games on there that are just HD remixed.
Right, and he also wanted a Fire Emblem and Earthbound crossover. Not
Earthbound, man.
Well, Earthbound has its strong fan base. I will not say anything to take them off, but it's hard for me to not crush their dreams. Shigesato Itoi did say that he had thought maybe to bring or to re-release the Earthbound Mother games.
Yeah, that's only going on in
Japan. And Mother 2's been confirmed for Japanese Virtual Console.
Actually,
not America.
Well, wait. Don't be so sure about that, because from a video I've seen, I'm sorry, did you say it was coming out or did come out?
I heard it is coming out on Japan's Virtual Console.
Okay. It is, yeah, that's one of their 30-cent games.
Yeah, because from what I heard, okay, never mind. If it's one of their 30-second games, I understand them, because from what I heard, it actually did not come out on the Virtual Console in Japan. It was a demo in Smash Brothers, but they still didn't put it on the Virtual Console, which is weird.
No, it will be, though, coming out. But I think it's their next month game. Or no, it's probably March. I think February's Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that information from Rue from the Planet of the Grey Wolves Earthbound review, so, that's where I got my information from.
I think Earthbound is not going to see the light of day for a while. A good while. And you need to actually take a bit of research to realize why Earthbound is not coming out and not just go ahead and blame Nintendo.
Yeah, I've heard about the whole copyright issues.
There are legal issues that they would have to go through.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they can get away with it. I mean, they already did once. I don't know why why that hasn't been a problem. But, oh well. Hopefully, Itoi will... I don't know. He probably won't change anything to get it sold out here, so... we're getting screwed again. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but so far...
Darn you, Japan, for getting everything.
How dare you make it and keep it for yourselves. And moving on. We have Super UNate. And this guy actually has an idea that I kind of see the connection between, but we'll see. And he's hoping that because of the whole Super Smash Brothers with Namco, he's hoping that Nintendo and Namco will make a crossover game like Kirby and Klonoa. I
see the connection somewhat because they're both creatures from Dream Worlds.
Yeah. This is something I can definitely understand. It seems logical, I guess. It would be pretty interesting, to say the least. But,
it's just hard. It's hard for me to speculate this sort of stuff. It's hard for me to speculate Fire Emblem.
Well, you can't.
Shin Megami Tensei, but
you can't speculate it because it doesn't exist. It's not really speculating.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people will just throw two franchises together and say what if, and that's all fine and dandy. But when it comes to actually making a game, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like the idea is, if it did happen, what would you like to see put in it? Like
with Kirby and Klonoa?
Yeah, if that was possible. I don't, like I said though, I haven't had too much experience with Kirby or Klonoa. I've played their games. I do see the connection of the Dream World ability. They are more or less in the same difficulty level.
Yeah, I don't have that much experience with Klonoa. I personally am a huge Kirby fan, but I really can't speculate as far as like how the two gameplay styles would mesh. But I guess you could just chalk that up to not being creative enough.
I think you can mix console Klonoa with Kirby just fine. Portable Klonoa is a totally different story. But I can see that matching well. It's just hard to think about what you could do. They're just simple 2D puzzle platformers. As long as there's no English voice acting, because the Wii's voice acting was not good.
Yeah, and Kirby would never talk anyway, so it would probably be all done with just like hand gestures and such.
That works fine.
Yeah.
It worked for Return to Dreamland, so yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Okay.